It's the Tony Rose Morning Show on Sam 100.7, and the show is NBC's Aflac presents Brian Boitano Skating Spectacular starring Barry Manilow. For the first time ever on the show, we have an Olympian. Brian Boitano joins us. Good morning, Brian. How are you?
Hey, I'm your first Olympian. That's cool.
Yeah, I tell you, what an honor and a privilege. You know,
thank you.
I am so excited. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well. I'm just, plugging away at my busy season.
Yeah, now this time of year, I guess business does pick up for you quite a bit, doesn't it?
It's ice skating season.
Now, tell everybody out there just what you've been up to. I know that the skating spectacular, but what do you do the rest of the year? Like, what do you hobbies, things you enjoy, in your free time? What do you like to do?
You know what? It's funny because, this is one of the TV specials that I do. So, I work from August through March.
Right.
Doing TV shows and skating appearances and stuff like that. I don't tour anymore. So basically the rest of the year I'm just trying to get into shape for the end of the year. You know what I mean? So taking care of my body, doing cross training. So my life is really about staying in shape.
And I guess people don't understand that skating is a very, very physically demanding sport, isn't it?
There is nothing like skating. In fact, I did a thing with Will Ferrell, Blades of Glory, the movie this year.
Yes.
And when the first time I met him, he said, "I feel so guilty for making a comedy about skating." He was like, "This is the hardest thing I've ever done." I'm like, "Doesn't everybody know how hard skating is? Haven't you gone to a birthday party when you were a kid and put on skates? So, but yeah, it's the hardest thing that I've ever done. That's for sure.
Now, let me ask you a couple of questions about skating because we're in Kentucky, so ice skating for us is a rare privilege. Roller skating is usually what we end up with here.
Right.
But let me ask you, when you're out there skating, I know it's got to hurt when you fall.
Oh yeah.
And let's just say you don't fall a lot. You're Brian Boitano. Come on.
I try not to.
But now, does it hurt worse to fall, or do you get like wet butt when you fall?
You get wet butt. It depends on how wet the ice is. The thing is if it's dry ice and there's snow on your butt when you get up, you want to brush it off as quickly as possible. But sometimes the ice is wet, and then you go sliding. It even carries you. You slide even further down the ice. So, but you know what? As you get older, it's true that when you fall, you're like sort of out of commission for a whole week.
Now, what is it like skating in the Olympics? I mean, on the biggest stage of all, in front of the world, and when you say literally the world, it is the world stage, the Olympics. What is that atmosphere like? Is there a way to describe it in words?
What I've always said, and this is no joke, I really think that moment when you skate in the Olympics, the pressure is so immense that it burns years off of your life.
Right.
I think everybody has this reserve inside of them that can that deals with stress.
Yeah.
It's a reserve, and I really think that just that week of being in the Olympics, and especially that night of the final, it just burns up so much of your reserve because you have to work so hard at keeping the pressure away.
Wow. Now, of course, your skating spectacular with featuring the music and the man, the legend himself, Barry Manilow, is tomorrow night on NBC. Tell us about that. I know the list of stars who are going to be there, skating stars, past, present, and future, all going to be on the card. Who are some of the folks who are going to be skating with you?
Well, I'm skating with, there's 11 world and Olympic champions. Dorothy Hamill, Olympic champion. Victor Petrenko, Olympic champion. David Peltier. And we did it out. It's the first time ever. We did it in AT&T Giant Stadium in San Francisco outdoors in the ballpark.
Really?
We put ice on the field from like home plate to second base, put Barry's stage out in center field, and then our backdrop is their new high-tech, state-of-the-art HD screen. So it was really cool.
Very cool. So you're outdoors skating.
Yeah, it was amazing. But then you can see the fog coming in and into the ballpark. It was immense. It was like skating in Rome in the Colosseum.
Wow. Now, do you have to adjust for like the wind and the outside conditions?
Yeah,
when
it
you're
was
doing
windy. And when you're heading toward the wind, it's like blowing. It's like slowing you down and everything. So you got to sort of lick your finger and hold it in the air and figure out which direction to go.
I love it. Of course, it's tomorrow night. Holiday season upon us as well. Perfect show for the holidays. What are your holiday plans? How do you spend Christmas and New Year's?
Well, unfortunately, I don't have that much time. I haven't put up a tree I haven't ever put up a tree, I don't think. Because I get home on the 23rd and then I got to leave the 28th.
Right.
So, it's like it's hard. But I'm going to spend it with my mom and dad, and my sister are going to come up. They live in San Francisco area, and I was born and raised here. And so I'm going to spend it, just staying inside, watching, some of the parades or whatever's on TV and cooking a great meal with them.
Wow. That's great. And of course, we're fired up about the show. And before you get out of here, I got to ask you something.
South Park.
Yes. I know you get. How often do you get asked that one? Right? What would Brian Boitano do if he were here right now?
You don't have the song, do you?
We will probably be playing it somewhere around this interview. Yes, at some point it has to be played. We can't play the whole thing, of course, but you know.
I know. I mean, I've heard it enough today already.
I was going to say it's a tribute, isn't it? More than anything, I think it was meant in a flattering way.
I was scared to death when I heard that they did that, but then when I heard the song, I'm like, this is cool. I can live with this. This is cool. They didn't. I think I'm like the only person that they haven't ever picked on.
I was going to say, you could be. They've pretty much ripped everybody in the world at some point, and then you get this awesome, kick butt tribute song where you're going back in time and going into the future, saving the world.
I actually had a fan come up to me the other day at one of the skating shows and go, I did some research. You're the only person that they haven't picked on.
That is a huge compliment coming from those guys.
That's a blessing. I hope they don't turn a corner and all of a sudden we're going to trash it now.
Well, I was going to say between that and then they got the people with the Chuck Norris facts, about these guys. I mean, who would win in a one-on-one battle, Brian Boitano or Chuck Norris? Now that may be the battle of the century right there.
Depends on who has skates on. Well, Chuck's a little older than me, so.
Well, there you go. But both of you folks equally bad mamma jammas. So there you go. Well, hey, we appreciate you taking some time out for us today and coming on with us. Happy holidays to you and your family, and we really do wish you the best and continued best of luck. Okay, Brian?
Thanks a lot.
There you go. Brian Boitano. His special is on tomorrow night on NBC featuring the music and himself, Barry Manilow. It's awesome stuff. It's the Tony Rose Morning Show on Sam 100.7.